Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Alice Mike's podcast. It's another Music Friday for June the 11th, el 11 de junio. We got another Music Friday. New music. Not a lot of there's always new music, but remember, this is the only music that I recommend. And I don't want to talk negatively about anybody. If I don't like their music, I'm not going to. Well, I've said it with the conversations, but not on Music Fridays. So, before I get off topic, thank you so much for listening. Again, thank you for listening to Alex Mike's podcast. There's a Music Friday for June the 11th. New music that came out for El Regional Mexicano in the recommendations I have. And I'm going to recommend some old school CDs as well. Actually, one artist I'm going to recommend. But I just want to thank everybody for listening, and remember to follow on my social media pages, Alice Mike's podcast on Instagram and Facebook. You'll find everything about the podcast there, and links to here on your favorite platform, you might say. Again, Alice Mike's podcast on Instagram and Facebook. We got new music of we got new music. New Music Friday. So thank you for everybody for listening and listening from East Coast, West Coast, North, South, and everywhere in between. Thank you so much. Listening from wherever you're listening from. All right, so I'm just gonna get this ball rolling. All right, so we have a new single de Joel Elizalde con Banda Cervantes. You guys don't know what Banda Cervantes? They're not really a banda. They're more of a group. It's a type of music that's really popular. I'm gonna say from el norte de Sinaloa, starting I'll say Guasave and to Sonora, which is a combination of. It starts off. I believe it has a clarinet, a trumpet, a guitar, either a bass guitar, or even I've seen the big old bass guitar el guitarrón del mariachi. So it's a combination, but it always has either clarinet or trumpet and guitar. And then the other stuff could alternate. And sometimes it has an accordion. So it's definitely some people might think it's a little funky. A lot of people are used to it. Old school Lalo El Gallo used to sing with this. Even Valentin has a recording with this type of grupo. Not Los Cervantes, but this type of. I think it was for Los Cervantes. The one with the Ultima Bohemia with Valentin. So this is type of music that it's really popular, bien popular with the northern states. Actually, I was just saying Sinaloa and Guasave, Sinaloa and Sonora. Not to get too far down that road. So Joel Elizalde and Banda Cervantes, a new single called Encanto y Juventud, which Joel Elizalde has sang this song before, but now it's Banda Cervantes. It's como, if you're not used to it, si no estás impuesto, it's gonna be a little funky. But give it a shot. Try it out. If it's not for you, it's not for you. I'm used to it. I grew up listening to a lot of Lalo Gallo. And that type of music. So I'm definitely used to that. The music, I believe Alfredo Olivas. But I think he even has a couple songs with this type of music as well. Él es de Sonora. He's from Sonora. So go and check it out. Now we got Banda Recodo came out with the album actually called Sones Raíces. It's just a bunch of we call it guapangos or zapateados, puras tocaditas, which is great. I love when Recodo comes out with an album that it's puras tocaditas or more to their raíces or to where they started from. And it's awesome that they don't forget their where they come from, and the music that made them who they are, and it's great. So the two songs I really like, they're they're really popular. It's called El Carretero y el Tocolotito. I mean, it's again, it's great when they come up with an album with tocaditas like that because man, was it like 5 years ago, 5 or 4 years ago, they came out with one, and I remember nobody knew, casi ninguna banda knew Arriba el Roble. I mean, it was one of those zapateados that almost didn't nobody know. And then that song, after they put that song in their album, everybody knew Arriba el Roble, especially La Cuichi. I forgot what zapateados. They just really like. Oh, yeah, that's great. More banda knew these tocaditas, and that's great. It spread the awareness around. And so hopefully, one of these songs from the album does that or has that same effect because de lo que sea, what Recodo does, I believe they lead the industry, the banda industry, in what is popular. They come either with the corrido, románticas, a cumbia, a zapateado, a rancherita, whatever. Doing collaborations with people, live albums. Like a lot of people look up to Recodo, what they're doing, what they're bringing out, just because of who they are, and of course you could say they're one of the leaders of the banda industry. So we'll see. I mean, again, it's great. The only picky thing I have is I'm not a big fan of the recording. I mean, it just it sounds too electronic, and I know it's not intentional. I know they're not. They definitely, I don't think Recodo's going to use any synthesizers. I don't think they are using anything like that. It's just when they blend the trumpet with the clarinet, la trompeta y la clarinette playing together, it gives us these really electronic sound. Like it's it's not a natural sound. If you try to hear when they're playing, when the band is all playing together, when the trumpets, the trombones, the clarinet, and they're all playing, in the together, you'll definitely hear the trumpet and you'll hear the trombone playing the melody, but nowhere do you hear the clarinet. At least in my aspect, I can't hear it. I can hear it when it's when it's playing by itself, but when it's being played with when they're playing with the trumpet, it just bundles into this electronic type of blend that is just. If you heard the song before, the clarinet's playing, but if you didn't, it's just like you'll just say, "Man, that trumpet sounds synthesized." I mean, that's my only critique of it. I mean, I don't want to be too picky about it. I'm not trying to bash them at all, but I mean, I just my way of doing constructive criticism. But again, it's great that they're doing tocaditas and raíces albums. That's great. Keep doing it. Especially, I mean, they had a lot of time off to play a lot of music with all this COVID stuff. But that's my only picky on it. I mean, the recording. I wish there could be a happy medium between like this new recording and when it was with the digital and analog. I it's just there has to be a happy medium. It just for me personally just sounds too electronic. Some parts it just doesn't sound. It sounds too perfect. I know I'm being real picky or just being real specific, but I expect the best from them. I'm not saying they are the best banda, but just definitely the top five. So just there's a lot of expectations, and it's great for fans and have great expectations for a grupo. Um, but either way, I still recommend it. So the song's called El Carretero y el Tecolotito. The album's called Sones Raíces. And once again, all these songs I'm recommending, and I'm putting in Alice Mike's playlist on Spotify. They all get uploaded there. You guys can enjoy the music there that I recommend. It's even on. It should be on the on the order that I've talked about these Music Fridays. So my first Music Friday, you'll see the first song that I recommended until recently. So if you listen to old podcast, and it's all gonna be there in the order where how I recommended it, and yeah. Oh, but if you put shuffle, I mean that's that's up to you. Definitely not in order. But if you don't hit shuffle, they're in the order that I've started these Music Fridays. So yeah, just letting you know all this music, all my playlist on Spotify. All right, so you could listen and listen to all the music there, and enjoy. All right, so we're gonna go on to Grupo Codiciado. They came out with a single with this song called Es Verdad, which is a song by Los Tucanes, composed by Mario Quintero. It's a live single. I'm a I like Grupo Codiciado. They're definitely different. They're from Tijuana. If you guys haven't heard the stuff before, I definitely recommend stuff from them before. But yeah, so we got Es Verdad, Grupo Codiciado. It's a live single, so go ahead and check it out. And then from there, we have, I mean, if you heard from my other podcast episodes, I'm a big fan of these guys called Los Chavalones de Cosala. So they came out with a new single. It's called La Primera Caricia. So funny story, the single. I'm like, okay, this sounds. Oh man, the song sounds good. I like the way they play it. And on my past podcast, I've been, I've spoken to conversations with Corny, who's my dad. His name's Cornelio, but we call him Corny. Um, so, and when I was listening to his music, I was like, "Hey, Dad, come on in. Let's listen to some music. Listen to, the new stuff that came out." So here's I put in the song, and he's like wording it, like almost singing along to it. And I'm like, "Hey, Dad, you know this song?" And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, está bien vieja por la canción." And I'm like, I'm not saying that I wasn't thinking it was a new song, but I was like, "Oh, I probably never heard it before." So he started singing along, and I'm like, "All right, let me look for who else has sang the song." And then estoy buscando, I'm looking, and then I see that Vicente Fernandez sang it. I'm like, "Oh, okay." And then my dad's like, "Yeah, it's probably from one of his first albums," and it is because it has like La del Monte, definitely like a '70s cover. Yeah, but it's one of his first albums, and I put it on, and I'm like, "Oh, geez, like I know the song, I've heard this, but I mean, it's just played. He sings it a lot slower." But then my dad was like, Courtney was like, "Hey, no, yeah, Chente does sing it, but I know it was with somebody else." And I'm like, "What do you mean, like, uh, who do you?" What are you talking about? Like, more like before Chente? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, well, I mean, like, I'm like, it was a woman singer. And I was like, nah, pues a ver. And I'm like, oh, is it Amalia Mendoza? Yep. And it's just funny. It's one of those cool things that when you listen to music with an older generation, and especially like for like my dad he's born in 1953. So he's close to, uh, he's close to hitting 70. That's pretty big of a age gap between me and my dad, and there's a couple generations. So when you hear music together and then you talk about it, it's just like it's you always discover something new. There's a lot of times where uh, my brother, el compa Horacio. If you ever heard of the podcast with me and compa Horacio, please listen to them. Really entertaining. Um, but yeah, so I mean, so my brother, he's quite a bit older than me, and he used to tell stories. Well, my dad tells stories, or just my brother used to. He was a generation that still went to the to the music store, bought CDs, bought cassettes, more like CDs, and he would like pop it in and be like, hey, Dad, okay, Corny, or Dad, escucha esta canción, listen to the song. Like, oh, yeah, it's good. And he'll think, oh, look at this brand new song. And then my dad is like, no, mijo, como que nueva canción. Esa canción la cantó blah, blah, blah en los setentas and da, 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 da. And so many times. And then like, sí, lo cantaba lo contaba or, um, so, and then we're all excited about, oh yeah, we found this new song, and no, it's just a cover. And so to go back to, so los charros de Cosala, they, I don't say made the song their own, but they made it their own style. And if I don't, I'm a person that personally, I pay more attention to the rhythmic part of the song, like the melody and how it goes, and the music. Like, I could tell you, like I remember like las entradas, like where, like the entrances of like where the accordion's gonna play, or the type of melody, or la adorno, that I could like memorize. Like, for me, it's easy. The music part of, but the lyric part of it, I sometimes don't even pay attention to lyrics. Like, I do pay attention a lot. I do pay attention to lyrics, but I pay attention more to the music first and then the lyric, right? So for me, when I'm listening to the song, I'm listening to how the song goes and how it's played and how it's, the rhythmic of it, and the blend of it. So a person that's more into lyrics, they would like, oh yeah, this song is from this person, or I heard it from this other person. For me, I'm like, oh, if it's not totally obvious, if it's not a straight on copy, I would have never like, oh, it's a Chente song, or Chente has a famous prayer, actually, and it's a really famous song. A lot of people sing it. Um, so I mean, it's good for them that they made a song that people won't. They made it their own style. I mean, some people might say it's a people's opinions. They might say no, pues, they're totally changing it, or they're making it worse, or but hay gustos a gustos. If you like it, that's good. If you don't, just skip the song. I think people should try. Music is to be played with, and try new things. Um, you know, yeah, just, I mean, that's what it is. I mean, music, you gotta try new things. I mean, if it doesn't come out good, it doesn't come out good. But at least you give it a shot. Este. All right, so that's a little side story right there. So from there, we're gonna go to. All right, so this female artist called Janelli Rosa came out with the album. It's called El Comienzo, but she sings El Farsante, which is a famous Juan Gabriel song. Um, it's not an easy song to sing, definitely not. But it's sounds good. Um, yeah, so yeah, just go ahead and check it out. It's Janelli Rosa. It's called El Farsante. Um, of course, my favorite version of El Farsante, or a lot of Juan Gabriel songs, is female voices con Rocío Dulca. What a song. I mean, what a voice. Um, yeah, what she's singing with mariachi. All those Juan Gabriel songs is just like nobody could top. People could top it. And unfortunately, Jenny passed away. And she had her own versions of some of those songs, and Jenny had a great voice as well. Um, but I mean, it's just, for me, it's just, it's like when some other women, or women singers, or just women sing La Gran Señora. They can have a great voice, great voice, but it's never gonna, I think, fulfill the way that Jenny sing it. We just have that with that's we have that voice with that song. So again, it's for me, it's like El Farsante with Rocío Dulca. I mean, it's just you just have that voice stuck to that song, and it's I wouldn't say it's fair for people that try to sing those covers, but I mean, it comes with the territory. It's like if you want to hear, you hear Las Nieves de Enero and you hear with Chalino. Like, I'm not saying Chalino is the best singer out there, but just that voice and just that's how you have it. It's just certain voices, Vicente Fernández con El Rey, even though it's canción de José Alfredo Jiménez. But if you want to hear El Rey, you want to hear with with being with Vicente Fernández, or Tristes Recuerdos con Antonio Aguilar. It's just those songs are just they're joined with the hip with their artist. Um, you know. So yeah. All right. So no. Well, that's my recommendations for this. Well, for the new songs. These are all the new releases that came out. Now, so I'm gonna go ahead and recommend an artist, some albums, some songs that no, not new, but I believe a lot of people have not a lot of people, but either people don't know about this guy or they forgot about him. But man, this guy was huge in the '90s. Was pretty popular in the '90s. His name's Jorge Luis Cabrera. He was one of the one that came out. I don't know. He was the original one, but he's one of the that came out with música romántica, something like música romántica. I won't sing it because I don't want to get copyrighted. And yeah, so and the '90s was huge. And then a lot of his recordings with banda are probably one of my favorite recordings. Banda recordings, man, that banda sounds so great, awesome. Like, yeah, I really wish some of the new recordings were if you just combine, combine the banda recordings, with the because they were recording analog. What I mean by analog, they were recording on tape instead of on computers. I mean, if you could just combine whatever they did and whatever the newer process is for recording the digital, that'd be perfect. But yeah, some of these songs, the banda sounds so great. I mean, a lot of them they're covers, but for me personally, the banda sounds so great that I'll listen to them again. So yeah, it's quite a wide he a lot of rancheritas, not a lot of corridos. Yeah, he definitely stayed more with como digo, rancheritas and música romántica, um, some little zapateados, little cumbias, but yeah, definitely didn't dive into the corridos. Maybe because his voice it was a little higher than usual, not no higher, but no como que no se usaba muchos corridos con ese tipo de voz. Ahora es like you can hear all the muchachos singing this the guitarritas and all that stuff with a really high pitched voice. I think there's corridos, but yeah, he has a lot of good music. I mean, a ver, like he has y por esa calle vive, Linda Güerita, Ojos Negros, Tengo a mi Lupe, Amores Fingidos, Carta Abierta, El Toro Viejo, Por una Mujer Bonita, De Nueva Cuenta, of course the big hit, Música Romántica, Estrellita Marinera, Por esa Yegua, Tu Desprecios, El Sangoloteadito, which I know is a song by Joan Sebastian, La Mancornadora, La Primera Noche de Mayo, Una Sola Caída, like La Primavera. Chalino used to sing the song Me Persigue Tu Sombra. And then he has an album actually with Los Amables del Norte, which is the original, okay, not the first original, but the grupo que tenía Chalino Sánchez. You know, when he recorded Nieves de Enero, Alma Enamorada, all his classics, el corrido de General el Sargento, just Hermosísimo Lucero. Yeah, all the great corridos, it. So Los Amares del Norte are that conjunto that Chalino has, and not the original. The original ones are like Algo de la Frontera, and they're not that good. Just personally, I really like when he started playing with Los Amables del Norte. Well, Jorge Luis Cabrera recorded an album with them, and it's awesome because it's that style. They have their unique style, definitely unique style, and especially Nacho Hernandez, the accordion player. As soon as he plays the intro, then he goes into to set up the singer so they can start. El adorno, the whatever he puts onto it. I mean, it's just it's Nacho Hernandez. It's Los Amables, like it's awesome. And that CD comes with Besos y Cerezas, Por Capricho los Dos, Mientras Viva, El Toro Palomo, Ojitos Negros, El Paciente, Ahora Vengo a Verte y Quererte Jamás. It's yeah. I love that. I love the style they played. Um, from the bass, and El Señor Jacinto and Los Hermanos Reyes actually was Jacinto playing bajo sexto, and I mean I forgot the other name, playing bass. Yeah, so it's a good CD. It's a good not CD, it's a good album. It's a good album. But yeah, if you guys haven't heard this guy, Jorge Luis Cabrera, go ahead and check him out. If anybody, I mean, he'll probably remind a lot of people for, back in the day. If you heard that this guy back in the '90s, early 2000s. But yeah, so I'm gonna put all his music in all Mike's playlist on Spotify. So go ahead and check it out. Spotify's for like I'm not. Spotify is free. So don't be afraid to download it and check it out. I mean, I of course the internet it's not free that you used to listen to it, but generally it's free and you could search for all these playlists and you could hear the music and yeah. So all this music is at Al's Mike's playlist on Spotify. Go ahead and check it out. Yeah, and how I say, if you guys have any messages, any concerns, message me through Facebook or Instagram at Alice Mike's Podcast. Send me a message there too, and then if you listen to this podcast from using the Reason app or Reason, you could message me through there too, Alice Mike's Podcast. So. Yeah, just letting everybody know. And then I do have Alice Mike's Podcast YouTube page. You can send me messages there, comments, whatever. I upload these podcasts there as well on YouTube. Later on, I'll probably have more. I'll continue more conversations with Corny and Anita and Horacio, el compa Horacio, and have more. Hopefully, set up more people to talk to. You can enjoy the conversations and listen to their aspects of life, not aspects of life, but their journeys and whatever they have to talk about. And whatever happens to me. I mean, if something exciting, if anything cool happens, I mean, I'm more than willing to share. There's some travels I definitely have to share about. I might probably gonna do a food version because I've been to a couple of food places I really want to recommend to you guys, but. Man, I'm gonna have to do it right after I eat because man, I started doing it right now. I'm gonna start getting real hungry. So yeah. So thanks everybody for listening again. Don't be shy to send me a message. Or a comment, or you want to do a shout out or anything, please message me, or at Alice Mike's podcast on Instagram or Facebook. And yeah, don't forget to follow as well. And I appreciate you guys, guys and girls, spreading out the word on the podcast. Really appreciate it. Yeah. So yeah, hopefully everybody has a great weekend. Stay cool. If you're in the hot places, if you're in cool places, we'll get warmer. Yeah, everybody take care. Have a good one. Be safe. And always end it off. Don't forget to smile, okay? And if nobody smiles back at you, go in front of a mirror and smile at yourself. So at least somebody smiles back at you. All right? Be positive. Be good, everybody. Yeah, we want to thank for all the encouragement to CA Truckline, Smart Stop Insurance Services, Unique Janitorial, and JC Herrera Trucking. Thank you for all the encouragement. Oh, and just anybody listening, Smart Stop Insurance is in Santa Maria, California, is moving locations. They're just moving two doors south. So same building. But yeah, so it's the same building, but they're gonna be moving, I believe, for next month. Just giving a heads up. Smart Stop Insurance in Santa Maria, California is moving, but same building, but just two doors south. Hopefully, you know what your north, south, and west and east is. But yeah, so two doors south. Okay, same building. Just a PSA. I'm not getting paid to say this, but I'm just giving out the hand, being a friendly reminder. All right. All right. Thank you so much for listening. Have a good one, everybody. Take care.